We are here in the green, beautiful desert. I'm wishing all of you happiness, clarity, and freedom on yet another gorgeous morning. I hope life is going your way. I hope life is treating you well. I hope life is treating you fantastically on this beautiful day. And an important reminder today is that life itself is the prize. This experience itself is, in fact, the prize. There is no outer prize to achieve. There is no thing that we have to get in this experience. This experience itself is the gift. This experience itself is the prize. It's the present moment. It's the present moment. The gift from the universe is the present. It's right here, right now. No distractions. Focusing on the present. So in your life, focus on the present that is always here, 24/7. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The present is always here. We just get distracted and forget to focus on it and forget to return back to it. In fact, we get distracted and our focus goes elsewhere. Our focus goes outside of ourselves, and we forget that the present, the real present, is always right here, right now. So there's a reminder. And in this installment of Freedom Speaks, that's my name, Freedom Speaks, we are going to be speaking about dopamine detox, or aka dopamine fasting, or dopamine healing, whatever you want to call it. It's fine by me, but this has been a very, very important aspect of my self-development journey and of my spiritual journey. Dopamine fasting. Dopamine fasting. What is dopamine? What is dopamine? Dopamine is chemicals in your brain. It's the feel-good chemicals in your brain. And serotonin is another one. These are the chemicals in our brain that allow us to feel pleasure when we do something, such as eating or, getting something from outside, or reproduction. We have these signals in our brain that is telling us, yes, this is good. This is a good thing to do for the human being. And those signals let out these chemicals. And these are the feel-good chemicals, like dopamine, right? The feel-good chemical that we feel in our brains. And we don't just feel it in our brains, we feel it in our bodies as well, right? It's a whole body experience, this dopamine chemical in our minds. And what's so important with dopamine is that we must learn to regulate the dopamine. In this world, we have gotten way too far. We have gone way too far with the distractions. Like I always say, there's so many distractions. There are so many things that are trying to feed your energy out of yourself. And the way that this world works is that they throw things your way to give you pleasure, right? That's how the devil works. He wants to entice you and bring you in, and it looks so enticing. And these things are going to give us pleasure, like Netflix and Hulu and all these junk foods that are very high in sugar, and all these things that are not good for us. This is how this world works, right? To keep us always wanting more, to keep us always looking outside of ourselves. This is how this world operates. So in this world, we have fried our dopamine receptors. We have literally fried our dopamine receptors like French fries, okay? We have fried them by eating too many French fries. This is how it works. When we feed ourselves too much pleasure, our dopamine receptors, they become numb. And this means that we keep needing more. We keep needing more and more and more in order to feel that same high, right? Drugs are also connected to this. This is why people have drug addictions, because they take drugs and it feels so good, right? It lets off that dopamine, and that goes away, and then they need more and more and more, and it never ends unless you choose to break the cycle, which is what I want to speak about, is how we need to heal our dopamine receptors. You see, we have these receptors in our brain for these chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. We have receptors, and over time, when you're feeding yourself too much pleasure, too much dopamine, too much stimulation, you are frying these receptors, you are damaging these receptors, and you are not allowing these receptors to heal. These are receptors in our brain that need time to heal. How can we heal our dopamine receptors? This is why you clicked on this video. How can we do it? How can we actually fix and repair and heal our dopamine receptors? Well, in my opinion, the best way is to come out in nature. Come out in nature. Because when you are in nature, what are you doing? You are letting go of distractions. You are letting go of all this external stimulation, the movies, the shows, the junk food, all of it. And you are giving yourself the time and the space to heal. The best thing about nature is that when you come out into this space is so free. This space is so liberating. This space, it doesn't want to take advantage of you. It's just alive and everything is living. And when you come out here, you give yourself this time and space for your brain to heal. So in my opinion, coming out in nature, coming out for a walk, coming out for a hike, coming out for a stroll with the grass and the cactus and the birds, everything's out here. It's all out here waiting for you. When you come out here and do this, you are healing your dopamine receptors. You are giving them time to heal. You're letting go of this external stimulation. But that's another thing that we have to do, is to let go of all the stimulations. And like I said, like I always say, in this world there are so many distractions, so many things that want to take your energy, so many things that want to harm your dopamine receptors, that want to fry your dopamine receptors. Too much dopamine, too much pleasure is not a good thing. And we must learn to let go of these things. Now, it's not going to be an easy thing, letting go of these things, especially when we have these things programmed into our mind. We have these things built in so solidly as programs that it's so hard to let go. It's so hard to let go. And having discipline, having self-discipline is what we need in order to let go of all this external stimulation, all of it. Okay, I hate to say it, but even YouTube, even what you're doing right now, it's a source of external stimulation. Now, I'm not saying to drop all stimulation, because obviously it's okay to have some stimulation. The problem has risen when we just have way too much, and this is how the dopamine receptors get fried. So too much is a bad thing. That's why I say less is more. Less is more. Okay, moderation, less is more. Learn to moderate, learn to enjoy things in life, but don't go too far. Don't go too overboard, because in this world it is so easy to go too overboard. Another thing with relation to dopamine and healing your dopamine receptors is that it's important to go easy on yourself. I always say, go easy on yourself. We are just humans. We are doing the best that we can. Sometimes it's okay to indulge in things, because, like I said, we are just humans. Right now, in a human body, we are humans. We have to love our human nature. Although our true nature is the spiritual energy, we are light. We are spiritual beings having the human experience. That is our true nature. But at the same time, we are still having a human experience. So we must love and honor and respect our human nature. The human sometimes doesn't know any better, right? Our bodies, we have these feelings in our bodies. And our minds as well. Our mind is sometimes hard to control. So go easy on yourself. When this process of dopamine fasting, dopamine healing, dopamine, dopamine detox, go easy on yourself through this process. Right, I also want to say, I have Venus in Capricorn, so I am a very, very structured person. I love structure. My day-to-day life, I love to have structure. I get up, I meditate, I go for my walks in the morning, I brush my teeth, I do my things, I do my routine, right? Venus in Capricorn. I love structure. Comment down below your Venus sign. Do you have Venus in, Cancer, Gemini, Virgo, whatever it is, comment it down below. But dopamine detox. We must have this self-discipline. We must have this self-discipline. Like I said, it's not going to be easy letting go of all this external stimuli. It's so enticing. The food, the drinks, the sugary drinks, guys, the sugary drinks. 50 grams of added sugar in that Coca-Cola. You don't want to be drinking that too much. So take it easy. Learn to eat to live as well. It's another thing, right? They're pushing out all these junk foods with so much added sugar. And that's the reason why cancer is such a big problem. Disease is such a big problem. Heart disease, diabetes. Okay, did you know that cancer feeds off of sugar? So when you're drinking that Coca-Cola with 50 grams of added sugar, that's unnatural. Right? We need to be eating natural foods, right? You're just feeding the disease when you do these things. So fruit is natural sugar from nature itself. I really believe in fruits. Some people think that it's not good to eat too many fruits, and it's not good to eat too much of anything, right? But fruits have many powerful antioxidants, vitamins, minerals from the sun that will heal your body, that will keep you in a higher vibration. So eat fruits, eat vegetables, eat these things, okay? Eat whole grains. Get your energy from natural sources. Like I say sometimes, like I like to tell myself sometimes, is I am feeding my body clean, organic energy. I am feeding my body clean, organic energy from nature. And I'm oftentimes getting it straight from the source as well, from the sun. Clean, organic energy. We don't want to be getting our energy from processed, fake, highly sugary foods. We don't want to be getting that kind of energy. When you eat a Pop-Tart or something like that with all this added sugar, you're going to get an insane amount of energy. You're going to be wanting to do everything for like an hour maybe, for a very short time. And then later, you're going to just feel so heavy. You're going to feel this dip in energy. That's what I noticed when, eating these junk foods along my early life. Eating these things, that's what happens. So we want to be eating sunlight foods, life-giving foods. And this will help us to heal our dopamine receptors, okay? Dopamine fasting is a wonderful thing to do. Dopamine healing is a wonderful thing that we all need to start to do. And it only is a thing because, like I said, in this society, in this world, they want to keep you lower. They want to keep you distracted. They want to keep you addicted. They want to keep you attached to external things. But the ultimate truth is that you don't need anything outside of you for this life. All you need is this moment. All you need is sunlight. All you need is nature. Nature provides everything that we need. You don't need anything that they are trying to give you out there. You are powerful. You can do it. You can heal yourself. You can heal your dopamine receptors. And I want to say thank you for all of you tuning into this message. Much joy, much freedom, much abundance to you on this day. Again, put in the work, put in the self-discipline. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy to heal your dopamine receptors after so much stimulation. But the more you come out in nature, the more you let go of all these things, like I said, the sugary foods, beverages, all this dopamine coming in, the more you let go of these things, the more magic you are going to feel in your life. When you heal your dopamine receptors, you don't need as much to feel good. I feel so good just coming out and getting sunlight. I feel so good just coming out and going for a walk. Right? This is how your life will change. You don't need as much in order to feel good. You start living a simpler life. I live an incredibly simple life. I don't need much stimulation to feel good. And that's what will happen to you when you begin to dopamine fast. So much love to all of you on your dopamine fasting journeys. Actual fasting is another wonderful way to heal your dopamine receptors that I completely forgot to mention. But something I love to do is intermittent fasting. And you can try intermittent fasting, going for periods of time without eating food, longer periods of time without any food. This is a wonderful way to heal your dopamine receptors. So look into intermittent fasting, look into fasting in general, right? Don't rely on constant dopamine hits for pleasure. So, much love to you, much joy, abundance to all of you. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. Much joy and freedom. And I want you to make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.